Hello everyone, I just wanted to take a few minutes to share a little bit of food news with you today. I've been having some technological issues today, and I don't know if it's just that everybody is trying to get online at the same time or whatever. Um, but here, I'm going to share a little bit of food news with you today to keep you abreast of what's going on. In Atlanta, at least two workers at the Kennesaw Whole Foods plant have tested positive for COVID-19. And that plant is taking it very seriously because they understand that food security is very, very important for us. It's a vital thing that we need in order to be able to sustain ourselves, in order to live. So, the grocery store chains, we know, are working hard to provide safe food and to keep the employees safe, because as I said, food security is very important. And there has been an increase, not only in America, but across the world, in cases of COVID-19. It's starting to plateau in some areas around the world, but we have to stay vigilant, and we can't just get lax because it's starting to plateau in certain areas. We want the numbers to decrease, and we want to really get beyond this. So there's different things that are being done. Like I said, Kennesaw Whole Foods in Atlanta, Georgia, has they've had a couple of people, at least two people, test positive for COVID-19. And their plan is that Wednesday they're going to close the plant down indefinitely. Some people were saying that it was going to be for 2 weeks, but right now it just looks like it's going to be indefinitely. They want to take the time, and they want to thoroughly go through and make sure that everything is clean. They want to get the people that have contracted the virus an opportunity to recover, and that's going to take a while. They're being requested to continue paying their employees because there were about 37,000 employees at that plant, so they're being requested to continue paying them while the plant is closed. But they want to take proactive steps so that they can ensure the safety of their employees, safety and good healthy food to offer people, and ensure the safety of that which the consumers will be getting. In a lot of grocery store chains, as I said, they're working hard to provide that food safety as well. Post offices are too. I was at the post office the other day because I had to get some stamps, and they had a sneeze guard, the big plexiglass sheet there, and you walk up to the counter. The person is on the other side of the plexiglass. You tell them what you want. They've got on their rubber gloves. They do their deal. They slide those stamps underneath that shield. Well, those sneeze guards are being added at the checkout lines in the grocery stores. They're being added in some of the other chains as well. Local chain stores like Target, Walmart, places like that. Don't quote me on, I don't know that all stores have added those, but I know that there are a number of stores that are being proactive and have added them. Temperatures are being taken to people that are going to work in many stores or many jobs, especially if you're someone working with the elderly or people that are maybe considered vulnerable, adults or children or whatever the situation may be. You have to go through a screening process when you come into work, answer a bunch of questions. They take your temperature before you get to rolling at work. Face masks and gloves are offered, which is very proactive. Hand sanitizers offered, which is wonderful, very proactive. And people are repeatedly reminded to wash their hands. I know I just did a video the other day talking about how awesome Bob and Paul are for the hand sanitizer, and they, did offer gloves and all of that as well. I love that. It's wonderful to see that people really care about, they care about people. They care about their employees. They care about the consumers. They care about people as a whole. That's really awesome. There's lots of grocery store chains that are closing earlier as well because they want to have time to restock the food that's taken during the day, and they have to sanitize the area because people go in stores and they're putting their hands on everything. And I'm sorry, the camera seems like quite closer than usual. But, people are, they go in the stores and they want to put their hands all over everything. They want to touch the produce. They want to pick up canned goods and put it back down. They want to pick up a loaf of bread and put it back down. Well, you don't know where those people's hands have been, which is why I did another video the other day about what about the food in your store. You go in shopping in the store. It's good that these places are sanitizing and restocking, but we need to go into the stores with the mindset of being proactive. It's just like if you were driving a car and you don't drive just for yourself. You drive for the other person that you're not sure if they're paying attention to where they're going. You want to do the same thing in the stores, because there's some people that'll go to the store and they know they're sick. Some people will do that. Yes, they can order the groceries. Sometimes people just won't do that. They'll go anyway, and then they want to put their hands all over everything. So you bring those items home, wash your hands, unpack everything, wipe down those canned goods or plastic containers with warm soapy water that you can, fill a pan or the sink with some soapy water and wipe all that stuff down. If you have produce, like fresh apples and whatever, you can wash that off in a very thin amount of dish detergent. Have a little bit of dish detergent in a sink full of water or in a pan full of water, just a little drop. You don't need a whole lot, just enough to be able to clean it off. I've been doing it for years. It's not harmful to use a tiny amount. In fact, I use what I call the cheap dish detergent just for that. Buy the dollar store brand just to use a little drop of that so that you can wash that produce down and then rinse it really good, and then you can put the produce and everything away, clean out your sink, sanitize your sink area, wash your hands again. It's a good practice because, as I said, you just never know who has been touching that food before you got there. You don't know if that person was sick. They may be sick and know that they're sick. They may be sick and not know that they're sick. You just never know. So it's better to take, the side of being a little more cautious and making sure that you have your own food safety in that way. Grocery stores are also reserving the early morning hours to open the stores so that the elderly or disabled individuals can get into the stores early and shop for the things that they need. So a store like Target or Whole Foods or Byerly's or Lund's might open the store a couple of hours earlier in the morning for those particular individuals. It's not for other people to run up in there and buy 5 million rolls of toilet paper, but it's for those individuals, the elderly, to be able to come in and be able to get their shopping done and leave. There's going to be plenty for everybody else, but let's consider the elderly and the disabled because they really need their supplies as well. And getting out is challenging. And right now, one of the really nice things that I've noticed here in Minnesota anyway is there are mobility companies like Mobility for All, Metro Mobility, different transportation companies that are designed specifically to assist people that are elderly or handicapped in providing transportation for them. They will also help those people to get their groceries. And now, right now, even though things are kind of dicey and you're not sure who's going to be open and who's not going to be open, you can contact them if you're within the state of Minnesota. And I'm sure there's other programs depending on what state that you live in America, or possibly other things in other countries. You can contact the mobility provider and see what their plan is for that. And if they say yes, that they do that, then you can contact the grocery store or go online to order your groceries, have your groceries there and set for them to pick up, and that mobility company will go and do the curbside pickup, bring your groceries to your home, call you from outside the building, then you just come out with your cart or whatever and get your groceries and bring them into your place, which is really awesome, especially for those that have mobility issues and or have difficulty getting around because transportation is challenging right now. Also, larger chain stores like Walmart are limiting the number of people that can be in the stores at a time. I've talked to people in Ohio and other states, and they said that, you go in there now. It used to be that it was kind of like a free-for-all. There were just like a gazillion people in there. But now you go in there, one-way lines. It's like you're driving down the road in one way. One row goes one direction. The next row comes back the other direction. So that way you're not passing people in any row at any given time. And they still encourage the social distancing, which is 6 feet minimum from other people. I prefer 10 feet just to play it safe, but they say 6 feet minimum. Now, Smithfield Foods will be closing the Sioux Falls, South Dakota plant indefinitely because of the COVID-19 outbreak. They announced that in their news release today. And the closure came after the South Dakota Department of Health said that 238 out of 438 COVID-19 cases involve people who were working at Smithfield Foods. The plant does plan on fully shutting down on Wednesday of this week. Until that time, they will be open only to process inventory and to do some cleaning up. So, and as I mentioned before, certain plants that are closing down are being requested to pay their employees during the time of closure, but right now it's unclear whether or not that will happen. So, that's some of our latest food news for today. And I hope you have a good night. And tomorrow we will talk about how to pack to take things with you if you're one of those essential employees for work. Until later.